It was one of the most marking moments of my life to see the fruit of the will of God in our lives. There's no greater honor as an older sister and no greater redemption.
My name is Jenell Wilson, and these are my kids.
My name is Serenity.
And I'm Stryder.
I was radically saved when I was 18 and went to a Bible college, got my degree, met their dad, got married, had kids right away, and just had kind of amazing life in ministry. Had my own nonprofit. My husband at the time, he was a Christian documentary filmmaker, and we just were able to see incredible miracles all over the world. Unfortunately, their father and I focused really heavily on our ministries and did not put much attention on our marriage, and that showed after the years, and eventually we got a divorce. It caused me to kind of pull away from God, to actually lose trust in Him.
My mentors and the influences in my life told me that God hated divorce, and to me that meant that God hated my mom. So this legalism drove a wedge between me and my mom's relationship. That ended up in turn kind of leading me to walk away from the church.
I lived out of their relationship with the Lord, and I never really had my own. And so after the divorce, all of my foundation just kind of got uprooted.
I began to have really bad mental health struggles, and I became very heavily addicted to weed. I think I had 3 suicide attempts over 2.5 years.
Addiction started to take root in my life. Weed, alcohol, nicotine, relationships, pornography, to find anything other than the only thing that could have helped us, which was Jesus.
My dad, who makes these Christian documentaries, ended up hiring me to be on his film crew. We had a film trip in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I encountered these missionaries who worked in the favelas there in the slums. They had nothing. They were just so in awe of the gospel. My life completely changed. I just completely gave myself to Him. And so 3 weeks later, after that happened, I pulled onto the CFNI campus, 3 weeks sober and ready to learn about God.
So in the time of deconstruction, I wanted to kind of solve my own problems. I just was trying to make myself healthy with all these other tools instead of the Spirit.
So flash forward, I show up for campus days. And so the final night, the last encounter service, this lady walks up to me and she's staring at me and she's trembling a little bit. And I knew that the eyes of the woman who was staring in front of me were the eyes of Jesus. And in that moment, it all clicked that the gospel was real, that Jesus was real. She asked me, how long are you going to hide? He needs to know how long you will run. You either give your life back to Him or keep going the way you're going. I just wanted Him. I didn't want to feel that way. And as soon as I said that prayer, boom, all of it just flooded off, all the shame, all the guilt.
It was one of the most marking moments of my life to know that I had led him when he was so young into so many horrible things, and then to be able to intercede for him and to watch God's will unfold for his life and to be able to lead him into freedom. There's no greater honor as an older sister and no greater redemption.
I was in a difficult relationship that I knew I had to get out of, and booked flights to go visit the kids.
Stryder came to CFNI. I felt like the Lord also wanted my mom to come to CFNI.
One night in worship at T&E, I felt Jesus was holding me, and I knew in my spirit that I had only known this toxic love, and I felt like Him saying, I will reteach you what real love looks like. And literally the sermon that night was about that. It was about counterfeit versus true love. He just couldn't have made it any more clear. This is what I have for you here. It's hard to put all the words to what God did as He healed me from those past years, took away the trauma, calmed my body down, set my life completely on a new trajectory.
We've only been walking in full surrender for like a couple years, and the amount of healing and unity and restoration that we have experienced is unprecedented.
When I came on campus, daily addictions broke off like that. What I was seeking that entire time was Jesus. So for anybody who's looking for that, how they can be fulfilled, there's only one man who will ever truly tell you who you are and why you are here, and that's Jesus.
God wants to redeem families. He does things in families. It has kind of been like heaven on earth here, and I will endlessly be grateful to CFNI for creating and fostering this atmosphere for God to bring this redemption and unity in this place.
If I could speak to anyone who's dealing with mental illness or hopelessness, seek Jesus and you will find life. You can go to the world to try to find satisfaction, but you will not find it. If there are people who don't know where they want to go in life, but they know they want that Jesus, come to CFNI. It's a training ground. It's a safe place. The community is incredible. You will learn. You will grow.
This is my story, and this is Serenity's story and Stryder's story. But this is also our story, and more importantly, it's his story through us.